Greetings, this is Doc Ock coming at you live and direct from Black Facts Headquarters Central today in Kent, Ohio. Oops, got the wrong slide up. There we go, now you can see me. All right, there we go. Whew, well. Good day to all. We are here back in our studio, ready to go with another week of facts about the blacks. Facts about the blacks. So last week we had started to move into a month of presentations based on black inventions, black creativity, black science, particularly black scientists. And we're going to stay on that little gravy train right there for a while longer. So we last night we talked about Granville T Woods, and we're going to continue on talking about him a little bit more today out of a different book. We're coming out of Black Facts Volume 26, Ohio's Black History. It's major work, and we only have a very few copies of these books to go around, but it's fascinating when you get into them. Absolutely, excuse me, fascinating, no matter how much I may yawn. All right, let's see what we can do. See what we can find in here about Granville T Woods. And let's look for our, deal with our, before we get into that, let's do first things first. If you're watching this on Facebook, give us a like. If you're watching on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. And then go ahead and spread the word across the land about Black Facts and how we're extending our hand in the process of each one teaching one. And that is our saying for the day. Each one teach one. That was one that Dr. Crosby liked to use all the time. Each one teach one, each one reach one. And the reason the reason I like it so much as well is because it's one of those little nuggets, one of those little seeds you can plant, and I'm sure will end up growing into a tree. Every time I plant it, I know I'm planting a whole tree. Something will spring forth from it, unlike anything I'd ever seen before. Okay. Oh, I see. All right. This index has things in here backwards, so I have to look the other way around. Because I was wondering, I was like, wait a minute. Looking through my index. The thing I loved about these books is that they are indexed. The thing I love about them is that they are indexed. So if you want to find something in here, you can do it if you know how to use the index. And we're looking for Granville Woods, which is on page 342. And he's another Ohio inventor. We're going to be focused on Ohio inventors for a little bit. We might do Ohio inventors for the whole month. The good news is, once we do it, we don't have to do it again. So we'll be able to move on to other inventors, because there are lots and lots of black inventors, inventions, black scientists that are out there that we can talk about. This particular one is one of the oldest, one of the oldest ones in the U.S. I put it that way. One of the oldest ones in the U.S. because we have other ones in Africa as well, but he's one of the oldest ones on this side of the water. And I see it looks like my slideshow doesn't want to work properly today. Let's see if it will or it won't. No. Okay, it's gonna go funny style on me. Let me go black here. See if I can fix it. Sometimes I have to do this. Still wish I could figure out why I have to do it. I do not understand why. It doesn't make sense to me. Seems like I should just be able to do the same thing I do every other day and it should just work. But for some reason, that doesn't always happen. Now let's try it again, see if it works this time. All right. Granville T Woods, born on April 23rd, 1856. Passed from this life into the next world, January 30th, 1910. African-American inventor who held more than 50 patents. Now that was quite an accomplishment considering the fact he only lived to be 50-some years old. Matter of fact, it says here he lived to be 53 years old. He's also the first African American of African ancestry to be a mechanical and electrical engineer after the Civil War. He was self-taught and focused most of his work on trains and streetcars. And the thing that he invented that was really phenomenal, one of the things he invented that was really phenomenal is a multiplex telegraph that could send messages between train stations and moving trains. So to answer the question that I asked in our description, what did people do before there were cell phones if they had to get a message to a train in motion? Let's say, for instance, an accident had happened on the train tracks, and another train that's further up the tracks was disabled and in the wrong location at the wrong time. It wasn't able to switch off onto a side track so that this other train could go on barreling through. So what would you do? How would you be able to communicate that message? Well, Granville T Woods came up with a plan. His plan was to have a multiplex telegraph device that would send messages between the train stations or between moving trains. And that made things a lot safer because you could now have a way to communicate with these vehicles that were moving at a speed that changed life not only in America but around the world. Because up until the time that we had trains, a transcontinental railway, there were no time zones. There was no need for a time zone because you would just be local. You know, your horse only went so far in a day. So you didn't need a time zone. But these trains changed the speed of life. Not the speed of light, but the speed of life. Because now you could start off the day in one time zone and end up in another time zone. And because of this movement, you needed to set clocks differently in one area than you did in another area. If everybody was set to the same time, somebody's time was going to be off because the Californians would be getting up in the dark while it would be light over here for us. So Granville T Woods helped bring about this change in the speed of life, not just for us here, but all over the planet Earth. But how did Granville get here? Where did he start out at? Well, he was born to a quote-unquote mixed race family, and anytime I see that, I always bring up the question, just show me the family that's not mixed race in America and is still black, quote-unquote. Okay, that's all of us. And then he was born in 1856. I said that already. His mother's name was Martha Brown, and his father's name was Cyrus Woods. And he also had a brother named Laertes. Sounds like somebody was reading some kind of Shakespeare or something, because that's an odd name. Lyates, Laertes. His mother was part Indian, and his father was black or African American. Granville attended school in Columbus, Ohio. Now, what it doesn't say is that he was born in Columbus, Ohio. Yeah, but he was born in Columbus, Ohio, and lived there till he was about 10 years old. At that time, his family left seeking a better economic situation. And at the same time, well, wait a minute. But no, it says here he attended school until the age of 10, but he left school in order to go to work. There we go. A little bit different story. So he didn't leave Columbus. He left school in order to go to work. And he served an apprenticeship in a machine shop and learned the trades of the machinist, and the blacksmith. Some people say that he also got 2 years of college level training in electrical and mechanical engineering, but nobody's been able to pin that down as to exactly what school did he go to. In 1872, he got a job as a fireman on the Danville and Southern Railway in Missouri, eventually becoming an engineer. So by 1872, he's not quite 20 years old yet. He's under 20 because he wouldn't be 20 until 76. So 4 years. So he's 16 years old. At the age of 16, he becomes a fireman on the railway. Eventually, he becomes an engineer. In 1876, when he's now 20 years old, he moves to Springfield, Illinois, and works at a rolling mill, the Springfield Iron Works. There, he studied, while he was there, he studied mechanical and electrical engineering in college from 1876 to 1878. In 1878, he took a job on the Ironsides, a British steamer. That's a famous steamer, the Ironsides. And within 2 years, he became the chief engineer of this steamer. When he returned to America, he became an engineer with the Dayton and Southwestern Railway in southwestern Ohio. In 1880, he moved to the Natty No, Cincinnati, Ohio, and established his business as an electrical engineer and an inventor. After receiving a patent for the Multiplex Telegraph, he reorganized his Cincinnati company as the Woods Electric Company. But in 1892, he moved his own research operations to New York City, where he was joined by a brother, Laetes, who also had several inventions of his own. Oh, okay. Now that I didn't realize. Some people claim he was married, but it's not mentioned in any of the newspapers of the day. And in fact, some papers specified that he was still a bachelor. They did mention that he was very articulate and well-spoken. You know how they say that about us, well-spoken, as well as meticulous and stylish in his choice of clothing, and a man who preferred to dress in black. Interesting. At times, he would refer to himself as an immigrant from Australia, one of the real black fellas, in the belief that he would be given more respect if people thought he was from a foreign country, as opposed to being an American black man or African American. In his day, the black newspapers frequently expressed their pride in his achievements, saying he was the greatest of Negro inventors, and sometimes even calling him professor, although there's no evidence he ever received a college degree. But keep in mind, the title of professor can apply to anybody who is a teacher. You don't necessarily have to have a college degree to be a professor. He developed several improvements to the railroad system and was referred to some as the Black Edison. And if you're looking at Facebook right now, you'll see one of his inventions there, the multiplex telegraph. In 1885, he patented a device which was a combination of a telephone and a telegraph. And the device, which he called telegraphony, would allow a telegraph station to send voice and telegraph messages over a single wire. To send voice and telegraph messages. He sold the rights to this device to the American Bell Telephone Company. In 1887, he patented the Synchronous Multiplex Railway Telegraph, which allowed communications between train stations from moving trains, a technology pioneered by Lucius Phelps in 1884. Thomas Edison later filed a claim to the ownership of that particular patent. In 1888, Woods manufactured a system of overhead electric conducting lines for railroads modeled after the system pioneered by Charles Van Depolier, a famed inventor who had by then installed his electric railway system in 13 U.S. cities. In 1889, he filed a patent for an improvement to the steam boiler furnace. But one of the most dynamic or interesting patents that he gained was the one for the, and I don't see they talk about it here. Yeah, they don't talk about this device here. Was one he made for the roller coasters. He also patented some devices, some wheels, particular kinds of wheels for the roller coasters. But Granville often had difficulties enjoying the success, that the kind of success that other inventors had, because other inventors would make claims to his devices. Thomas Edison made a claim stating that he had first created a similar telegraph and that he was entitled to the patent for the device. Woods defeated those claims twice at least, proving that there were no other devices upon which he could have depended or relied upon to make his device. After Thomas Edison's second defeat, he decided to offer Granville Woods a position with the Edison Company, but Granville declined. Sometimes he's credited with the invention of the electric third rail. However, many third rail systems were in place in both Europe and North America at the time he filed his patent in 1901. Thomas Edison had been awarded a patent for the third rail almost 2 decades earlier in 1882. And he's also credited with the invention of the air brake in 04 for trains, but Westinghouse had patented the air brake almost 40 years prior. But at any rate, anytime that you earn a patent, you are saying that you have come up with something original or that you have improved on something that already existed. So whether or not he invented the first one, not really relevant. He still got a patent because he still made some improvements to whatever it is that was out there that he saw that needed or that he could improve upon. And that's the real point here. So here we're talking about in our evening shows, our playlist on the weekend, we have a playlist called Black Genius. Okay, this one is called Mind Over Matter, because it doesn't matter what your mind thinks. If you can put your mind to work, you can overcome the matter. Think about that one for a while. I'll let you put that in your pipe and smoke it. And in the meantime, I'm clocking out. So this is Doc Ock at noon and 9 saying good day, good luck. And we'll look to see you in the evening. Don't forget, this is the first of the month. So we're looking for those donations to flow in. Go ahead and make your donation on Facebook right below in the description area. You can find a link below our descriptions on YouTube as well, or you can go directly to our website, www.blakfacts.org. So those are places you can go and make donations to Black Facts. We need your support in every way possible, and we appreciate all donations. And right now, we're just going to give a shout out to Esther Owens over here, and Alita, looks like Gorley. I can't quite make that out if that's an I or an L. And Corlata, looks like Sulcer Adams. There we go. Shout out to you all. Thanks for watching. We appreciate your support as always. Peace out without a doubt. We're going right on into our transiciones. Peace with justice, at least.